all, as human beings, have the need to feel like a 10. So therefore, the only way that a 6 can really be a 10 is what? To hang around and gravitate towards the 5s, the 4s, the 3s, the 2s, the 1s, and the 0s. Now you have a 6 like me. The reason why there's no wrong answer for this rating yourself, right? It's because a good 6 that's practicing personal development, they're going to get very uncomfortable. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to be uncomfortable gravitating towards the 7s in the rooms, the 8s in the rooms, the 9s in the rooms, and the 10s in the rooms. So who would you rather hang with? If you're a 6, who would you rather hang with? A whole bunch of 5s, 4s, 3s, 2s, and 1s? 0s? Or just a couple, maybe even one. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10s. Now what it requires is, if you want to be that type of 6, you have to humble yourself, right? And you also have to know how to shut up. Right? See, the problem with the 6s that want to gravitate towards the 5s and 4s, 3s, 2s, and 1s, what they're accustomed to is just talking. Yes. And they think that that's impressive. So what happens when you get a 6 in a room with a 7, 8, 9, 10s, what are they doing? They're talking all the time. And what do the 7, 8s, 9s, and 10s know? Like, man, when is this going to be over? Right? So what you got to do is you got to humble yourself. Just listen. You want to be a fly on the wall. Does everybody understand this? Yes. Does anybody disagree that whatever number you chose, that you naturally gravitate towards a lower number? Does anybody disagree with me there? No. So what we got to do is we got to break the cycle. Whether you're a 5, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, you have to figure out a way to break the cycle to get uncomfortable and gravitate towards the higher numbers. Even if it's a few people. Because I'm telling you, majority rules. We heard that expression before, right? Right. Majority rules. You get a bunch of average people in a room, guess what's going to happen? That's going to be the cool thing. And you see the 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s, they're cuddled up in a section. And what happens? Majority rules. Well, why they act like that? Why they over there? Right? So you got to rate yourself. Get accustomed to doing this every single day. Rate yourself. Rate yourself here at this workshop, right? This summer blast, rate yourself. And every day you can get better, and you can get better, and you can increase your value to the marketplace. Where are you right now? It's just personal development, right? Right. Where are you right now? Have you asked yourself that lately? Yes. Where are you right now? We're not talking about financially, right? That's not my job up here. My question is, as far as development, where are you right now? Are we developing? Question always goes, does the butterfly ever remember when it was a caterpillar?
Probably.
I don't know the answer to that. But what I do know is I do remember the person that I was once before. So what we have to realize is, where are you right now? Where are you right now? Are you the type of person that shuns away new information? I meet people like that every day. They don't want new information. They don't want to hear it. I like when Kathy had her presentation. She was talking about her coworker she hasn't seen in a long time. And she said, is this a scam? And then Kathy goes into this whole thing. It's not a scam. And then what did her coworker say? She said, is it? She gave her all this new information. She's like, wait, is it? Is what we're doing a scam? Is what we're doing a pyramid? Where are you right now? As far as development, do you read books? How many people read a book today? I'm talking about a page or more today. Hashtag be honest though. Say I. It's not many. Why are the reasons people didn't read something today? Didn't have time. Don't have a book. What's something else? Because we're here. Right? Didn't have time. Don't like reading. I don't like reading either. But I know unsuccessful people don't do it. So what do I have to do?
Read.
We gotta do what the unsuccessful people ain't doing. You don't believe me? Ask your unsuccessful friends, what do they do? Ask them if they've read a book recently. If they say no, what does that mean you have to do?
Read.
But what we do is we judge them, right? And that's what I don't want people to do after this presentation, right? Don't want you to judge people, because that's what I did when I first got introduced to personal development. I threw it on my friends and I started judging and looking down on them. You don't read a book? You're not listening to these audios? What are you, crazy? And they thought I was crazy. I was too focused on getting everybody to do it, therefore I wasn't doing it.
Right.
So you don't have time to read? Are you kidding me? Ask your friends. Ask all the unsuccessful people without judging. Ask all of them what book are they currently reading right now. If they're not reading, you need to read. You got to ask them. Do you know who Jim Rome is? Who's Jim Rome? What? Right there, check it down, right? Oh, they don't know who Jim Rome is. I need to find more about him. Who's Zig Ziglar? Who's W. Clement Stone? Who's Napoleon Hill? Ask your friends. You think this is theory? No, this is not theory. Ask your unsuccessful friends, who are these people? Ask your unsuccessful friend, do you set goals? When's the last seminar you went to? When's the last workshop you went to? When's the last conference call you've been on? If they don't have an answer for that, do the exact opposite. Because what successful people do is what? Exactly what the unsuccessful people don't do. If you don't believe me, just study your unsuccessful friends. Napoleon Hill made a fortune studying the most successful people in the world. But Jim Rome says, it would be amazing if unsuccessful people would do a seminar. And you can ask them, how did you fail? He said, but they wouldn't want to do the seminar. I promise you, I study what my unsuccessful friends do, and I do the exact opposite.
It's still level.
But you got to know where you're at right now, right? Because if you don't know, guess what happens? You're a part of them.
Right.
Y'all know the frog story, right? Frog story, you put a frog into a pot of water on a stove, turn the heat up a little bit, the frog's just going to what? It's going to swim around. Same frog, same pot on the same stove, you turn the water up just a little bit more, what's the frog going to do? It's going to swim around, right? Same frog, same pot, same stove, turn the water up just a little bit hotter. What's the frog going to do? It's going to swim around. Same frog, same pot, same stove, turn the water up a little bit hotter, right? What's it going to do? Frog's going to die. But it's going to die before it realized it was about to die. It's kind of like gossiping, right? Anybody ever gossip? Say aye. Aye. If you say no to that, you're lying. The worst thing about gossiping is you don't realize it until you're done. And damn, I'm them. You don't realize it. It's so subtle. But again, I'm conscious of this because it's personal what? It's development. I study myself. I don't study other people. I'm studying myself. Catch up with me. Watch me grow. Right? Make a plan for what will you do next. I got a plan for you guys. How much time is it?
You good?
Good? It's all good until it's 2 minutes left. It's all good till it's 2 minutes left. All right, so make a plan for what you will do next. Okay, so what do you do next? Got to do something, right?
Right.
Cool thing about personal development is it's a slow progress, right? It's a slow progress. So what can you do next? Here's what I'll tell you. There was a study that was done that I learned through Les Brown. Many science, much of research has been put into this, and it says that the first 10 minutes when you wake up in the morning is when your mind is most impressionable. Right? First 10 minutes when you wake up in the morning is when your mind is most impressionable. The first 10 minutes when you wake up in the morning is when your mind is what?
Most impressionable.
Most impressionable. Has anybody ever made a good impression on you?
Yes.
Has anybody made a bad impression on you?
Yes.
Well, what impression do you make to yourself every morning? So let's talk about some of the things that we do first thing in the morning. Hashtag be honest though, right? Typically what we do is we pick up our phone. As soon as we wake up, pick up our phone, right? We do it with good intent, right? We do it with good intent. Some of us use the excuse of, I gotta check what time it is. Gotta check what time. What's wrong with that? Right? I texted somebody last night. They were supposed to text me back. Let me see if they responded. It's all with good love, right? We do it with good love, checking our phone. But what happens when we check our phone? All these bad notifications, the stuff you didn't even think about. Somebody, your ex-boyfriend, girlfriend done hit you up, right? Child support late, right? You got news on your thing. You did it with good intent. Your bank account is in the negative, right? So what does this do to your first 10 minutes? Your first 10 minutes is when your mind is most impressionable. We all know, right? Where the mind goes, what?
The body flows.
The body flows. So if you're getting bad information, if you don't protect that first 10 minutes, I'm not asking you guys to do an hour. I'm not asking you to do 10 hours, right? First 10 minutes. How fast is 10 minutes? 10 minutes. I'm talking about the person who has a bad spouse, a negative spouse. Anybody have a negative spouse in here? Don't raise your hand. Right? But if you have a negative spouse, somebody that you're waking up in the morning, they're just negative. They're just negative. What you got to do? You got to just go to the bathroom. Right? Go to the bathroom, go outside, do something. But you got to protect this 10 minutes, right? You're talking about making a plan for what will you do next. The next thing that you must do is you got to start protecting that first 10 minutes when you first wake up in the morning. First 10 minutes, that's critical. First 10 minutes. What can you do? You can read a book. You can listen to an audio. You can meditate, right? You can do some yoga. Listen, I don't care if you just sit in your bed and you lay up and just look at the ceiling. But you must protect that first 10 minutes. If you don't, it's hard to get a bad day to a good day. It's very difficult. Anybody ever try that? It's difficult. They call it waking up on the wrong side of the bed. I believe that it's protecting that first 10 minutes. Right? You put some good stuff in that first 10 minutes, it's a beautiful thing what happens to the rest of your day. And anybody ever read this book? I know you read it, many of you, right?
Yeah.
Think and Grow Rich? Right? So there's a portion in this book where I know most of you, I can pretty much guarantee you, most of you don't have anything. Does anybody have their why in their wallet right now or in their pocketbook? Anybody? Let me see it. If you have your why in your pocketbook or wallet, let me see it.
I said my wallet is upstairs.
Okay. So that's one.
I have it on my phone screen.
On your screen, phone gets stolen, what happens?
I can't find it.
It gets lost. That happened to me personally, so that's why I'm saying. Right. So that's one in a possible. Anybody play spades? That's like one in a possible. That's basically going bored, right? So we have, so what you want to do is you want to develop a system for yourself, a routine. That's what successful people have, is they have routines, and it's really all based in personal development. You want to have something, your why, that's attached to you, right? You want to have your why that's attached to you. Napoleon Hill has it. One of my favorite artists, entrepreneurs, Jay-Z, he says, sure, books can guide you, but your heart defines you, right? So what do we have to do? We have to figure out a way where we can actually have something that we're committed to every single day, and that's called our why, right? Don't just read the books. Actually use it. It's called Monetize, right? People who do personal development, they monetize. How we looking? 4 minutes? My birthday's November 4th. Okay. So we got 4 minutes. So I'm going to tie this up real quick. How many of you do not read every single day? At least a page a day. Thank you. There we go. All right. So let me ask you, what's Carrie? Why don't you read every day, even a page?
There's no excuse.
There's no excuse. Okay.
I wake up and start whatever I'm dealing with kids or whatever, and I just don't.
Just don't. I like that answer. So what I do, I want to challenge everybody to read a page or two. If you don't read it all, just read one page a day. That's how I started. I wasn't always this way. It's through personal development changed my life. If I wasn't with personal development, my life would be completely different. Right? But I started out, I heard Les Brown talking about just reading a page a day. And then what you feel is wow, a page a day, what does that do? That's nothing. I don't feel like I'm doing nothing. But what I realized, just a page a day, wow. Because what started to happen after I started doing a page a day is the consistency part of it. You start doing a page a day, you want to read that second page, but I disciplined myself when I first started, like, nah, I'm not going to read that. I'm going to put it down. Then you start get to 2 pages a day, then 3 pages a day. Then you start get to a chapter a day, 2 chapters. Then you get like Benjamin Franklin, you read a book a day, right? You get like Warren Buffett, you read 500 pages a day. Then you get like Mark Cuban, you read 3 or 4 hours a day, right? How do all these successful people have time? We don't have time, but Mark Cuban has 3 hours he must squeeze in his day? We got to figure it out. My name is Demetrius Brown. I'm a President's Club with this company. Before I close it out, I know I have about 2 minutes left. Does anybody have any questions on personal development? Does anybody need any clarity on personal development? The name of this book is Sell or Be Sold. It's by Grant Cardone. Yes.
May I suggest a good book to read?
Yes.
The Power of Intention.
Okay, who's the author?
Wayne Dyer.
All right, Gawain Dyer. Excellent book.
What was the name of it?
The
Power of Intention. And I'll just throw in a few names. We got a minute or a minute? Yeah. Okay. So we got a minute. So there's a few ways that you can practice personal development, right? There's audios, there's videos, there's books. For those of you that don't like books, there's also magazines. So I'm going to go backwards in that order, right? If you don't like books, start introducing yourself to magazines. Magazines like Forbes magazine, The Robb Report, right? Success magazine, right? These are some great books. Fortune magazine, Inc.com, right? Inc. magazine, right? If you're talking about YouTube videos, start looking up people like Zig Ziglar, Anthony Robbins, Grant Cardone, Gary Vaynerchuk, Les Brown, right? Then if you're talking about books, there's some amazing books. Napoleon Hill has a ton of books. Brian Tracy has some incredible books. Damon John has some incredible books. Right? There's tons of books out there. And for those of you that are on social media, make sure that all of these people have social media pages as well. So make sure that you follow them. Earl Nightingale, even though he's passed and long gone, he also has a great Instagram page, Facebook page. So start following those type of people. You don't need a vacation from social media in most cases. I know that's a big thing. People say, I need to take time off of social media. It's just that you need to change who's coming through your timeline, right? You don't need a vacation. You just need to change up who's coming through your timeline. So start adding a lot of those people as well. You'll see a great change in your life. This is a personal development part of the workshop for Ameriplan USA. Hopefully you guys gained something. And if nobody else has any questions, I'm going to take your silence as confidence. Thank you so much.
Demetrius Brown.